Alrighty everyone, welcome back. It is now the last couple of days of July of 2023, and given that there's a lot of things up and coming for Disney that they're struggling with as well, we already have The Haunted Mansion, which is now out in theaters, and it's getting terrible reviews by the critics. It's not looking good for Bob Iger. Since we talked about this, the board is actually giving him the benefit of the doubt. If Haunted Mansion, The Marvels, Snow White 2024, Wish, and of course other movies fail, they want him out by April of 2024. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. I'm also on Twitter at Mike01. I thank you all so very much for the great and kind support. And let's get right into the subject, shall we? Now, we know that Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are desperate to course correct the Star Wars franchise, and a lot of Star Wars fans out there, let's be honest, are very skeptical, very much, alienating Star Wars for a while now. They've been distancing themselves, and for valid reasons so. They were let down with Mando Season 3, they were let down with the Book of Boba Fett and Kenobi, and just to name a few there. And so now a lot of fans are just very on edge about what's going on with the Ahsoka Tano series after the final trailer debuted a couple of weeks ago. People had mixed reactions. Some people got some, little intuitive thoughts about this show and where it's really heading and what kind of overall tone it's going to actually entail. But moving onwards here, one thing about Jon Favreau that I really do like is that he speaks the truth recently. He's been really calling out Kathleen Kennedy and her true overall motives about the Star Wars franchise and more. However, with both Jon and Dave working on Ahsoka and Mando Season 4, he eventually was able to expose something significant around Kathleen Kennedy. He went on to deliver the following. Well, even with Season 2 of Mandalorian, we had some creative limitations. Kathy really didn't even want Luke to return in the second season. She kept on insisting to us that we would get so much backlash for bringing Luke back after the release of The Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker, because she felt people were tired of seeing Luke. She also felt that it would take away from the stories of Grogu and Din. The entire Luke scene literally almost never happened. We had to keep pressuring Kathy to allow this to happen. It's one of the real reasons why I signed up for the show in the first place back in 2019. I knew going in I always wanted to redeem the character and to bring that excitement back for the character again for the fans. Myself and Kathy kept hitting brick walls. She didn't want Luke to return to do all these shock and awe moments because she felt it was too cartoony or something straight out of fan service. Eventually Kathy decided and allowed us to make it happen, but we really had to twist our arm to make it the way that we wanted to and to execute it properly. Now guys, let me pause here for a second. Now, this is not a big surprise at all, and the major takeaway from this, before I get to the next piece, is the overall system that was overthrown by Jon Favreau is that he really dismantled Kathleen Kennedy's iteration of Luke Skywalker. It really allowed fans to kind of forget about Jake Skywalker for a while, and really embraced this major cameo during the finale of Season 2. I think that 2020 was a very special year for that very given reason. December was a wonderful month. It really boosted the momentum for Star Wars and what was to come for Mando Season 3. And then, unfortunately, Kathleen Kennedy got her hands on the script with Season 3, so it wasn't all to blame on Jon and Dave, not 100% at least. A lot of it was orchestrated by Kathy and what happened with that season and everything that actually, transpired in that actual installment. So here you have Favreau, of course, really putting it out there that this scene featuring Luke nearly never even happened. He really had to practically just keep on convincing Kathy, let's do this, you have to do this, you have to make this happen. This is the only way that I'm going to create momentum for the upcoming cameos for our other spin-off shows. And so, it took a lot of effort, it took a lot of convincing on their end, and this just goes to show you guys how stubborn Kathleen Kennedy really is at the end of the day. She really was trying to keep herself guarded from even allowing Jon and Dave to explore a young version of Luke, just like in Star Wars Legends, holding that great power and those Jedi skills. It was so fantastic back in 2020 to see him taking on those dark troopers and really dismantling them and eventually getting through the door and taking Grogu with him. But this is where things get worse. Let's discuss further. Favreau goes on to elaborate. I know I wanted to at least have one other scene with Luke after that one that's so famous, but that never happened because Kathy felt it was just too much. So what I had planned to do with Mando Season 2, between Luke and Grogu training, I got to put that in the Book of Boba Fett. That was what I had to do because I didn't get the chance to throw that in Season 2. I was originally going to tease that. We originally wanted a 9th episode all about Luke was going to be brilliant. What I wanted to do, of course, never actually got to actually happen. With what I am doing now at Season 4, I think fans will be blown away. At least I hope they will be. But I don't expect it anytime soon because of the strikes and everything getting extended. It's going to be until 2025 at least at this point, as much as I hate to say that. But yeah, we are revising the script and everything with Season 4, and yes, we had creative issues even coming back for the second one. So, I mean, again, this just goes to show you that even though Season 2, I believe, was very solid, a very great introduction to Ahsoka, to Boba Fett, to Luke, it really gave us a gateway to opportunities. It almost felt like, you know, what The Force Awakens was. As much as I'm not a huge fan of that film from start to finish, the ending gave you a gateway to possibilities of what The Last Jedi was going to be. Same exact thing applied to Mando Season 2. Everyone was like, alright, Book of Boba Fett is going to be interesting, the Ahsoka series shall be interesting, as well as what's going to happen with Luke and Grogu. Everything was kind of dismantled, and so far that's exactly why fans are on edge right now about the Ahsoka series. Is this going to be another Boba Fett? Is this going to be another Kenobi series? That's what fans are questioning themselves right now, and the major takeaway from that too is a lot of fans, you know, got some girl bossy vibes out of the latest trailer. A lot of fans aren't really too keen on the fact that it's an all-female led cast, stuff like that. You know, little nitpicks here and there that Lucasfilm claims that the fans are doing. I think it's more than nitpicking, honestly. I think that fans are rightfully skeptical and have valid reasons to be on edge about where Ahsoka is going. So, August 23rd, by the way, it's going to be interesting to see what this show is going to really be all about when it comes to the tone, when it comes to how it's just going to be executed in general. So, yeah, I mean, Jon Favreau, again, throwing Kathleen Kennedy under the bus here, really calling her out, exposing her about what she was doing with Season 2, how she was so guarded and stubborn about introducing Luke again after The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker. It just goes to show you how apparent it really has become that she really just genuinely hates the character of Luke through and through. I think it's very apparent at this point. So, anyway, guys, I would love to hear your take on all of this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys next time.
Gun in hand, we are alone again. No, from night to moon, we hear them moans again. No.